Today is May 21st. The Yankees lose Game 1 to the Mariners. And Boone joins the show to discuss everything that went wrong. We grill him. Stay tuned because we grill him. Come on, Jake.
Recaps galore.
Weekly awards. Line streaming hot takes.
Your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talking Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD in the corner. We are talking about the Yankees. They won 7 in a row. Last episode, it was the highest I've ever been. They were about to win their 8th in a row. It did not happen. Clay got beat. We talked to Boone about that a little bit. We have a Sharp Stats episode. And Jake, most importantly, I saw a tweet that said you absolutely crushed it on the Daily Fantasy League.
James Davis. Yeah, I'm in third place overall out of like a couple hundred people. So that's whatever. And yeah, if you, I enthuse you to join us. We do a DraftKings Daily Fantasy League. It's every Tuesday.
How's it work? How many players do you grab?
You build a starting lineup.
Oh, no pitcher?
You get two pitchers.
Two pitchers.
Two starters?
Two starting. I suppose you can pick a reliever instead if you'd like to. But
okay.
Really nuts.
I would pick two starters and.
But yeah, go check it out. A bunch of the JM creators are in there. BBD's in there. And we're giving away additional prizes. Top finisher each month gets $100 in SeatGeek credit from John Boy Media. And the top leaderboard finisher at the end of the regular season will win 2 World Series tickets. My goal is to win and make a whole hullabaloo if I can claim the prize. Definitely can't. But go check it out. DraftKings, the JM Daily Fantasy League, every Tuesday. It's a lot of fun. I know there's a couple Talking Yanks diehards in there, too, every Tuesday. So come join us.
You know who I'd pick today as my 2 pitchers? Do you want to pick... Today's pitcher day, huh?
It's pitcher day.
Holy shit. Do you want to pick pitchers that, other people aren't going to... You want to be off the scent? So you don't
you get a certain amount of budget every week.
Accumulating as many points with as little budget as you can so you can get the judges and the...
So, Logan Webb's probably going to be more budget. And Ranger Suarez, because they're great.
Yes.
Crochet, is he going to be too much?
He could be cheap.
He's facing the Blue Jays. That would be good.
It's going to be lower than those guys, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't checked yet. Building my lineup after this app.
Go Patrick Corbin against the Twins. They don't have a sausage anymore.
Oh.
He's probably cheap as shit.
It's over.
A lot of good pitchers today, though. If you're looking at Trevor Rogers for Miami, go him.
Nope.
Take Robert Gasser from Milwaukee.
Okay.
The Marlins are 1-14 against left-handed starting pitchers.
Okay.
So Robert Gasser for Milwaukee is probably
You're in on the gas high.
cheap. No, the Marlins suck versus lefty pitchers.
Okay.
They have 1 win. They're 1-16, or they're 1-11 versus lefty starters. Not our Yanks.
Mm-mm.
They're good. Actually, they were struggling versus lefty starters, but I think they're better now.
Would have been cool if we won last night.
I know. But it's okay. But it's nice to be in a point where you're like, yeah. So 1-16, the Marlins versus lefty starting pitchers.
And we talk about it. We talk about a lot of things with Boone. You know how Dan Rourke, who's done some Talking Yanks stuff, he does John Boy Media stuff.
He's going by DR now.
He's going by DR now. Dan Rourke's kind of a beautifully crazy Yankee fan, but he says a lot of the emotions that get to us. So when Stroman tweeted after the game, it's the Booney tweet, which we talked to him about. But man, when he says, "See y'all in the Bronx tomorrow," Clark gonna shove. I love that, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, we did lose. Good. Let's kick your ass tomorrow. I love that.
Take that, Brian Wu.
That hits my...
Well, Judge is going to homer tomorrow.
Okay.
That's a guarantee. I don't know about tonight. My only prediction I'd have for tonight, if I was to give one, would be maybe no hitter, perfect game for Clark, complete game shutout.
Okay.
completes the 6th inning for the first time, completes the 7th, 8th inning for the first time, which I was worried about. That's too big of a jump. And how do you get better from there? You probably go complete game shutout.
And the next start is probably his no-hitter, then a perfect game.
Yeah, bit by bit.
A little better every
Immaculate
week.
innings. Start mixing those in after.
We'll let the relievers get that. Okay. Anything else?
Let's see.
Boone's got some good topics for us.
Yeah, Boone in good spirits. Sorry for the delay. His fault.
He was doing some charity stuff. So
You
if you want to
mentioned
get on his case,
Yeah.
get on his case.
Get on Charity's case.
I got to double check with him after this, but just a heads up, the next week's probably going to be similar timing. They're on the West Coast.
Oh,
Just a heads up. The weave is awesome.
Yeah.
That's covered in Boone.
Yes.
And I like that Boone also called him weave.
What are the other options?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Inky.
I've been going like Weave Dog. We had that, but Web Dog is there. So,
Right.
But I've been going the Weave,
The weave.
and that's been making me giggle.
You beweave.
Yeah, Beweave, Dream Beweaver. I guess he would call him Weave. Maybe everyone in his life calls him Weave.
If we make beweaver shirts, do you think that could be inspirational to people with speech impediments?
I mean, I had eroticism.
I
so
know.
like, it's kind of, I should be all over that. I overcame it though.
God, Luke Weaver looks good. Let's talk Taron Boone.
Yeah,
Manager of the Yankees?
I tweeted all caps. You want to win? Bring the Weave in, and I just loved it.
Should have kept him in. Aaron Boone and Talking Yanks is brought to you by Fubo. This season, we're going to be talking about a lot of baseball going around the league, checking in on all the teams. We actually just kind of did that here. Never mind talking baseball, JM baseball, everywhere. If you plan on following along with us, you already are.
Yar.
You absolutely need to watch MLB games all season long. The best way to do that is with Fubo. And they just pick up like all the Sunday games and everything. Well, with Fubo, you can get up to 350 live channels, including must-haves for this baseball season, MLB Network, MLB TV, ESPN, Fox, and more. Visit FuboTV.com/JohnBoy. Secure your exclusive 14-day free trial. That's like 2 weeks. With Fubo, FuboTV.com/JohnBoy. Go check it out. Boone.
Welcome back. Another episode of Bantering with Boone. Boone joins us. Yankees on. They were on 7-game win streak last night. That snaps, but vibes seemingly are very high. Boone, is that, would you say, accurate?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, definitely a good feeling going around here when, you're playing as well as they are. And that closeness, I think that everyone that's a Yankee fan is sensing and feeling. You definitely get that being in here. These guys have really poured into one another, and they're playing really well together and for one another, which has been fun to witness and see that come together.
Have you seen what Marcus Stroman tweeted last night?
I heard about it. Yes.
Oh,
How'd you hear? That was part of our line of questioning.
I saw somebody. I was at a charity. That's why we're going a little bit late to that and charity function. So somebody had mentioned it to me there.
he said that he would run through a brick wall for you, for real. So, any thoughts of having someone just set up a little wall, put him right to the test?
No, hopefully we won't have to do that. Hopefully he can just go out and continue to pitch as well as he has, and he's been one of those guys that's come in here for the first year, and we talk about the closeness of that room, and he's a big reason why. Like, he's come in here and fit right in, and we've loved his vibe and his energy, and Doogie and really everyone that's come in has found a little place in there. And they, you hear it all the time, throughout the history of sports, and like family and that, and it really is that way. And this year, I sense that bond is as strong as I can remember.
Let's get this out of the way. I'll take this from Jimmer because he didn't want you to think he was fishing for like a weird quote or anything. But last night is It's a tough one. I mean, Clay's been perfect on the year. There's a couple choppers, a couple borderline walks, and then it happens. Like, I guess the next morning, are you reliving any of it? Like, damn, like whether it's giving Stroman one more batter or whether it's the caught steal, like, or is it just like, hey, we were on a 7-game winner, the baseball gods got us?
Yeah, and especially I think, that's one of those where obviously it was a rough ninth inning, but I do really feel like Clay kind of came out throwing the ball really well. Got a ground ball to start the inning, got a little swinging bunt that, could easily been out number 2, and then another, and a couple of, probably pitching carefully to Raleigh there. And, I think the one that, probably, eats at us a little bit is the being ahead of Moore there and then end up losing him on the walk. But in and around that, I thought he threw the ball really, really well. And that's one of those, it's baseball, why you play 162, because it's not always going to bounce your way. You're going to have those kind of weird, because in a lot of ways, I think you look at last night and we could have put 8-10 runs on the board too. I mean, we had people out there. We had the right at bats, I think, even with runners in score. I mean, Giancarlo hits 107, one hopper to the third baseman's left that they turned into a double play. Birdie, I thought, had a good at bat on his double play with the bases low where he stays inside it, goes through the middle, just one hopper right to the second baseman. So Stroman was unbelievable. No regrets leaving Stro out there, because if Stro gets through that inning, then I don't use Weaver. As it is, I use them short. I know I can't get beat by a base runner. And very comfortable at that point if I got to go Weaver or into Holmes, or if I go Stro right to Holmes. So no, I felt like we were in a good position, and they finished off a really good inning. They finished off with some good at bats by, the sac fly was a good at bat, and then France going the other way was good at bat. So credit to them, they did some things, but clearly I think kind of bounced their way a little bit, obviously, there in that last inning, and that is baseball, and that wasn't a case of Clay not having it, not at all.
No, I thought he looked good. I even thought some of the walks he got, some pitches, I thought other umps will give him at times. I don't know. I didn't look if they were strikes or not, but they looked close. And, kind of Clay induces weak contact. So sometimes he can throw his best, and if they get enough of those in a row, it's not going to be great. Now, that hasn't happened a lot.
Yeah.
The slider's been awesome.
And the stolen bases, no. I mean, as you can see, like, we're beating the ball there. Those are the matchups we want. We like and you're in a position of where you're playing ahead. You're trying to tack on one more, by Glaber going, I think the inning before, where Trevi puts in place, sets up the fourth run where Birdie gets the base hit with GT at second. And then, that throw that's kind of not necessarily perfect, but in a lot of ways perfect because it cuts down the angle and you catch them on the foot. We're trying to add a jug run there. And no, I thought the process of that was sound and the execution was sound. They made a couple plays, but no, I had no issue with that.
Yeah, I'm interested in Volpe and his relationship with the steal right now, because in the leadoff position, you want to steal bags. Also, though, he's so fast, and you have Soto and Judge up, and a lot of times they can score him if he gets a good jump on a double from first. And how often does he have the light, not light? I mean, I know you're not going to totally reveal that, but is it a little more difficult being in front of those guys?
He's not so fast. Volpe's not a burner.
Oh, he's a good base runner.
He's a great base runner.
Yeah.
And he runs well, but he's not a burner like some of these guys that are stealing bases. He does it on just being a great base runner, being really good at his technique, understanding the situations when he can go. And part of the reason, I don't know how many stolen bases he has, but one of the reasons he's got to find the right matchup. Is we've got to find the right matchup. So those things come and go. Some pitchers are going to be super quick and pay attention to the other guys we're going to try and take advantage of. And when the matchup's there, we're going to go, whether he's hitting 1 or 9 or 7 or whatever. And then there's certain spots where you're going to, let the inning play out a little bit. But whenever we decide to run, he decides to run, we're doing it with the intention that it's the odds are in our favor, and it's a high percentage play to push the envelope there.
Makes sense. Yeah, I wasn't knocking him. I was just thinking it's a more interesting position with those two guys.
Two all-time hitters behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, it makes that percentage a little higher, but it's not. Oh, we just don't go anymore, and sometimes you're out because the other team makes a play too.
Something we love about sports is when someone's in a zone or they're hot. Myself, we do a blitzball battle 1. Aaron Boone, July 2001. Luke Weaver, we're watching it right now. The Weave Dog is unconscious. Jimmy's been driving the bus on him. Are we going to see him kind of get elevated to where Mike King was for parts of last year, where, like, in theory, if we're worried about Clay Holmes' innings and appearances, Weave Dog could potentially finish out a game like that, and then you can reset some guys in the bullpen. We saw you do that with Kinger last year. Could that be next?
I would say in a lot of ways Weaver is already to that. I don't think there's elevating it to it. Like, he's the guy we're trying to get the ball to. But on the days we have Clay too, it's gonna be Weaver Clay. But There'll be days when Clay's down or whatever, and it's like, we got Weave and we got him probably for a couple innings, say, then he very well may finish out the game. I mean, that's very possible. But I mean, I think you'll start to see Weave in like some 1 inning rolls, some 2 inning rolls where he's had a couple days and he's got a little length. So yeah, he's worked his way into that kind of place.
Little pizzazz yesterday on that final strike too.
Yeah.
A little can reverse.
Yeah, he's adding a little flair to it.
Hey, man, Stro, some electricity coming off the mound.
Yeah.
How about the Yankees? Well, maybe we'll pivot this a little bullpen. Tommy Kahnle is looking. He's coming back tomorrow. We're activating him
Tomorrow.
Okay,
yeah.
And is it? I guess, is this a you thing? Is it a team philosophy? Is it ease them in? Let's find the 7th inning, we're up 5, or is it, hey, if we need Tommy and it's a tight game and he's available, we're going to? Because I know rehab and minor league numbers, you can't do everything with him, but it looks like Tommy Kahnle's been lighting it up.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing the ball really well, so I wouldn't hesitate to put him in a big spot. 7th, 8th inning of a tie game, we're up, whatever. When it's his time to pitch, we feel like he's ready to go. Like, we haven't rushed him back or anything, and feel like he's throwing the ball really well and ready to go. I think the easing in part is making sure we don't, lean on him too heavily in the first weeks where it's a lot of back-to-backs and things like that. But no, we feel ready to go with him, and I expect him to be a high leverage guy.
He's going to be barking so much.
Yeah, he's going to be loud.
Oh, my God.
I was going to ask, do you pull aside any of the brand new coaching staff or, Birdie, any new players before the flight to San Diego and just say, hey, Kahnle's back with the team. It's going to be a little crazy.
Some of the traveling squad is I think starting to prepare for that. So I gotta make sure Tommy, keeps it somewhat under the fray.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah.
But hey, with who was gonna get off the roster for Kahnle? You forgot to say.
That's tomorrow.
Wow.
My bad. DJ's coming back as well?
Yes.
How many games did he get? And I'm so interested.
Oh, no, he's not coming back yet.
That was the report that it might be soon. Was that not?
The West Coast road trip.
It is going to be soon, depending on what your definition of soon is.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you want to get guys a lot of at bats? Because like at this point, I know he had. What's that?
I'm expecting him in Anaheim.
So I know he had a spring training, but it's been a while since having a spring training worth of at bats. I'm interested in that dynamic of.
Yeah, he'll have had this go around, kind of the way we're mapping it out by the time if he joins us in Anaheim, say on that Tuesday, he'll have had probably between 25 and 30 at bats. With the live at bats he had early or late last week down in Tampa at the complex, he had like he was getting live at bats, so he had probably 2 days of that. He had 2 days this past weekend in Somerset. This week he's going to play with Hudson Valley over in Brooklyn. He's playing tonight. He'll probably get 4 at bats. He'll probably get 4 at bats this whole week. Tonight, Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
And where do you you did mention in the pool report or the pregame yesterday that you have him playing majority of the starts at third base, right? Yep. But also he can spell Rizzo at first, and now you have some maybe Verdugo, or I don't know how do Oswaldo and Birdie find time? Is it just that's the gig now?
Yeah, I mean that'll kind of play itself out. Bottom line is getting DJ back is huge, and then in theory that should help our depth too, and help the strength of our bench. So, I just can't wait to get him back, and just the potential length of our lineup. With DJ now in it too is, it's exciting, especially the way, I feel like the offense has been trending anyway.
Do you have a lineup decision on where he would enter, and would it start where you want it to end, or what are your?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll see.
Okay, but you have a lean.
I have a lean.
All right.
Okay. Him and Tommy kind of balance each other out too on the flight, so that works out.
More silence,
Sure.
more talking.
Life's about balance. Life's about balance. Hey, Stanton's been awesome, and I didn't know. We were excited to see. Stan comes into spring. Here's the timeline. Stan comes into spring training. He's clearly like slimmer. We're like, that's different. Stan puts a couple charges into ball this year, and we're like, okay, like, hey, if Stan can be a threat, we'll take that. The past couple weeks, he's taken another step, and it feels like he's a little more on it. Have you seen the at bats change, or is it just like, hey, baseball? Sometimes you're going to get a little hot.
I mean, I think they've been better, but I don't think it's been that much better than even, I think we talked about it that first week where, his first 25 at bats, he had not a lot of hits and a lot of strikeouts or whatever. And I really felt like he was in the at bats, he was in the fight. And that's what we continue to see. I mean, I think even the last couple of days, he hasn't got a lot of results the last couple of days. But man, he's had a few really good at bats of just misses or a line out here, or he feels like a threat walking up to the plate right now, no matter who's on the mound, and that's huge for us. To have him in the middle of our order as that real threat is huge.
When that swing speed stat comes out and Stanton's like, he's looking like a different star on the map, does that get around the clubhouse? Like, is he walking a little taller? Is anyone?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure you guys have saw all that stuff come out, are like, wow, what does all this mean? It's kind of cool. Like, I think players are looking at it like that. They're like looking at all the different, what's it mean? Coaches, I think front office are like, what's it all mean? We've started to get this information over the last several months, and it's pretty fascinating, and it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. I'm interested in it really from a prospect range, or like amateur draft. Like, man, you start measuring this stuff, and what's it mean? Like, how do does it help you project, or does this little profile, especially as we get down the road with more information, years and years, like, does this profile of bat path and bat speed, like profile into a great chance he's going to turn into this. Or I'm fascinated to see where that goes. And I think the whole industry is just trying to get their hands and arms wrapped around this thing.
Going back to your
But it's interesting.
Going back to your playing days, is there a teammate or opponent that you think would have lit up this stat? Like, is there a guy that quick hands or fast bat or whatever the term you said?
Well,
back
Gary
then?
Sheffield stands out as like, that bat speed. Hanley Ramirez, when I played with him in Florida, was that stood out to me. So yeah,
First guy I remember on the broadcast, and this is, again, there's days I look 14 like today, but the first guy I remember on the broadcast saying, like, his swing speed is just silly was Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, Darryl with that whip. Carlos Delgado, I always remember, like, taking that low down and away pitch and, like, just boom. I wonder so maybe in 20 years we'll be able to retroactively go look at things and, like, pull, like, awesome stuff from back when I played.
Yeah. Have you seen the other stat, the barrel percentage on Judge, that he is kind of defying baseball right now? So they have like batted ball events. So every time Judge bats a ball, how many of them are barrels, which means he got it launch angle, exit velo, all that shit. 53.3% of the time he's hitting a ball is a barrel. The next highest is 31. And I believe he has like 6 so far this year that they're saying are like, perfect. And last year the highest was 4, or by Cruz. Not O'Neill Cruz, Nelson.
Ellie De La Cruz.
No, Nelson Cruz was the last player to have like that many in a season. It was like 5, and Judge already has 6 or something like that.
6?
But also,
he's cured some balls. That's for sure.
That stretch of Milwaukee to wherever it was, who'd you play next?
Milwaukee, Baltimore, and we came home and played
White Sox.
White Sox, yeah.
Detroit, Houston.
Because the first one off Clevenger was the same.
The road trip was where, like, that Tampa, Minnesota road trip.
Minnesota.
I felt like
Minnesota.
Those 6 games culminating in Minnesota were like, I mean, I've obviously seen a lot of good things from Aaron at the plate. Those 6 days were really impressive. The thing about it is he hit 5 balls over 400 feet that got caught at the fence on top of all the doubles and homers he was hitting. It was, and then in Minnesota, I don't think he didn't not either kill a ball or walk.
He the only one was the curveball that he, was a power bunt that Miranda couldn't field down the third base line. That was the only one he didn't crush. Still got a single.
Did he have the swinging bunt?
Yeah, it was.
He did.
Yeah, it was against Paddock. Curveball. Soto had walked on the curves.
Okay.
First pitch curveball swinging bunt. That was the only ball he didn't crush, but he still got a single.
That was the first game. Yeah, first game, first at bat. Just getting used to the environment again.
Yeah, no, but that was the craziest stretch. I tweeted. I thought it was crazier than I know he was breaking the record in 2022, but that stretch in Milwaukee was nuts. But some of those were line drives. This was every ball was like video game home run derby swing. It was crazy.
Yeah, it really was. Really was.
Is a big part of being a New York Yankee just demolishing the Minnesota Twins? Every time the stats come up, it's insane.
They beat us up last year.
Oh, no.
Last year you
Lean
got
in.
well, I'll refrain.
Well,
look, we happen to be rolling and playing well, and I mean we put together a really good series because they threw 3 good pitchers at us with Paddock, Pablo Lopez, and Joe Ryan. I mean, that was a pretty good series we put together, and when we went in there, they were hot too. So I don't know. I don't read into that stuff too much. Like that can change real quick in a series. So
the Nestor quick pitch. Did you check in with that?
I did. I still haven't got great clarity on it yet. I did check in on it. The original answer I got was that they felt like it was a quick pitch. The league. not an illegal pitch, but a quick pitch. So I gotta do some more digging. Like, what's the threshold there?
Yeah, that's interesting because I would say it was a quick pitch. I mean, he set him up with the long delivery. Laz was saying that he stepped off the mound, which didn't happen.
No.
So, like, you know, some of the official people reviewed decisions from the umpire's perspective. They were saying, well, in the end, he got the right call, but Laz was wrong in the reasoning, is saying, you know, because quick pitches are out the game. So, I don't know. I'm wondering if you had any answers there.
It was probably a little too quick.
He swung at it. That should overrule it. Well, he played. If it was too quick, he should have just stood there and been like, kind of like when the ball gets stuck in the fence, if the outfielder plays it, that's a live ball. If he throws his hands up.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, bring that to the league.
That,
yeah. I'll go tell Morgan Sword.
Send him the video.
I will. Yeah, they send me videos of when they think I'm going to break it down. They send me and they're like, I'm like, all right, guys. All right.
In too deep.
Anything else? Anything good?
No.
Okay. Luis Heel.
What about him?
It was awesome.
Pretty good.
Really
29
good.
pitches in the first, then breaks the strikeout record.
Yeah, I mean, that was, even that first, I didn't feel like he was that far off. They got a couple of soft hits against him, and it's like made it a long inning. But yeah, he's been fun to watch him work and grow too.
They asked him in his postgame, what's gone into his success, and he shouted out that he has a great coach in Garrett Cole. And my heart broke for Matt Blake. But Blake does get a lot of love already, so I guess he can give some to Cole.
He can spread it around a little bit.
But it was kind of a funny quote. We have a great instructor in Garrett Cole.
That's right.
Cool.
All right, boys.
All right. See you, Boone. Go win 3 in a row. That was Aaron Boone, manager of the New York Yankees. Once again, I'm Jimmy. This is Jake, and we're going to discuss everything Boone said bit by bit. Main takeaways?
What's the number one thing we liked?
The vibes are good still.
Vibes are great.
I like that he was geeking out about the swing data and excited about where it leads.
Yeah.
Also scared about where it leads. Like we don't because the data pretty much tells you having like the top swing, it isn't great. Like you're more susceptible to miss. That's so Stanton, he hits the ball far, but he's not a 300 hitter where like Judge is a little bit slower. And sometimes when he misses, he turns them into singles, doubles. So, but I thought it was cool to see that he was like, yeah, actually, no, that did go around. We are like enjoying looking at it, trying to make sense of it, because sometimes you think people that are in the game are just kind of poo-pooing everything.
Right.
But I feel like we've just gotten over that. Like Eno and the rest of his crew have won to the point where people are a little more open to learn now than they were even 4 years ago when OPS was still like, what? And now it's on Scorebugs.
Yeah, I think, and it's finding out what the information actually means, which Boone kind of alluded to, because we just saw, pitching has used this data in a good way and a bad way. And now they're figuring out, how to prevent injuries and stuff like that. And for hitting, I think you saw Boone's guys that love to talk hitting, and this can be shots fired at us because we only played the game to a certain level. When you watch 2 pro ball players talk hitting and fall deep in the hole, it's another world. Mm-hmm. So I think he's excited, like in their other world, a new portal just opened up, and they're excited to find out what that is in like 20 years.
I am excited to see it, and I'm also a little scared, but I'm excited about it. And I also liked that he, you ask him about players, like he was quick to Gary Sheffield. You didn't think about that?
Yeah.
So he likes all that stuff, but also the laugh Kahnle on the flight gave him.
Yeah.
That made me happy. Because he's right. Like, they will have to warn people.
It's a new dynamic in the clubhouse.
Yeah. He also liked your joke that DJ will balance it out with silence. He was like, yep, that's true.
And I'm excited for the next, whether it's a rain delay game or, maybe a day game after a game got canceled or something, that we hear Tommy Kahnle barking from the bullpen.
Yeah, hopefully he's not shy about it. Like, I'm Tommy Kahnle
Shy about it.
He's shy, you know. Sometimes your group of friends are all there. They've been on vacation for 3 days. There's a new inside joke going on.
Right.
You join them. You just feel like, is it mine? Can I just go right away?
I'm on this trip.
Not Kahnle. He's just going to dive right in. I am worried about DJ's at bats and everything that's happening here. I know he says the live at bats, but we've seen that before, and it doesn't really matter.
Well, what are you more worried about? Just the fact that, I mean, this is what seems like a recurring injury? Or are you worried about DJ's
Yeah, like we
baseball?
haven't fully tested it, and then there will be a grace period. Like, you heard who was on was it Flaherty or Nelson? Forget what broadcast it was, but they were like, yeah, and guys want to say spring training at bats don't really matter, but you saw Judge only take like 50% of what he usually gets, and it took him 2 weeks to really find his swing. And,
Right.
And Rizzo took the last like week of spring training off, and it took him like an extra week to find his, you know what I mean? Like, so the number is usually like 40 at bats. So he was saying 20, and he's counting live at bats, which aren't even game at bats. So there just might be a grace period where DJ's still getting back into the flow of things. I don't think it's going to mess anything up. I'm not that worried about that, but the injury reoccurring. It's an injury that reoccurs all the time, and it just feels like he got walked 4 times and then did another. Like, it just feels like it hasn't really been tested.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, injury I have concern because DJ's older and the foot's been a thing for a little bit now. Baseball-wise, I don't know. I guess I don't fall too deep in that game. Like, you know, DJ's veteran enough. And we've seen guys in their rehab stints go 0 for 14 and then they get a hit their first at bat and they're clicking, or we've seen guys struggle. Like, if DJ's healthy enough and he's taken some real at bats against minor league baseball, roll it out there. But yeah, that'll be, if he shows up in Anaheim, that's man, a lot of possibilities. And Boone talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get results in spring training. I don't know. So I'm very interested, curious, also very interested where he's going to be in the batting order. And I kind of tried to phrase it. I knew he wasn't going to answer. We just poke around of, do you have where you want him to be, where he's going to be, and where do you want him to be? Because if he's not leading off,
Right.
then where is he? Then he's 7th, Jake.
Right.
And that just doesn't seem like something they're going to do, although this is, you know, a team game and team everything. But if they want the platoon, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, then he slots in at the 7th spot. And then you have catcher. And then Glaber catcher.
All the way back to 9-hole Glaber. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't think they know. I think they're gonna rotate off days. Like, we've seen Stanton, you know, sitting once or twice a week. Like, I think you'll see that.
I'm gonna reach out.
And then I
think it's a vote.
I think what's gonna become the interesting conversation is if DJ comes back and looks like DJ LeMahieu, and we talked about Volpe's base running a little bit. Like, let's say DJ is like the peak good DJ we've seen. He's getting on base, great contact at bats, like the good version of DJ. I think the ideal Yankee lineup, and again, this isn't a shot at Volpe, but imagine a 9-hole Volpe with DJ's bat to ball skill in front of Soto and Judge. Like, that just sounds like massive innings. But again, Volpe's been incredible. So these are all Yankee problems.
Yeah, no, it's a good problem to have. I'm very interested in it. I part of me thinks they're going to go DJ leadoff, DJ, Soto, Judge, Verdugo, Stanton, Rizzo, Volpe, Glaber, catcher. Dude, that's a fucking great lineup. If
I know
DJ's
what
playing.
you're doing. We figured it out.
What?
They're not going to give DJ the right amount of rehab at bats. So he comes up, they start him leadoff.
We want to get him the most.
He's overmatched a little bit. Slide him down, Volpe back to leadoff. Yankee universe.
I reached out to my source. I said, "Are you voting for DJ LeMahieu leadoff or keeping Volpe?" He responded, "I voted Yandy."
I'm voting Shady Rays. Make sure you guys get yourself a pair of Shady Rays today. Use code YANKS for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. And that applies to the Jimmy and Jake shades. I'm Jake. I wear the Jake shades every day.
Once again, I'm Jimmy. I'd like to start wearing them more.
You mix them in. They're more of your off-speed pitch. These are my fastball.
The days you wear sunglasses, you wear.
Oh, yeah. James stole them from me the other day. I was driving around. I put them on.
What's
Sunroof
that
was
guy's
down.
deal? He's trying to get on the episodes. He's trying to get in the warehouse. Chill, bro.
Migo Warehouse today?
And Shady Rays has a lost and broken replacement guarantee. So if you lose them or break them, which I have done, sure, you feel a little tail between your legs for a second. Like, sorry, Mr. Rays. I did break my sunglasses. And they'll say, okay, we'll send you the new ones. So I say they're Shady Rays sunglasses for life. They haven't picked up that phrase yet, but go to shadyrays.com. Use code YANKS, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized shades. Sharp Stats.
Hey guys, the Queen of Stats is back from vacation. And today we're going to talk about LeMahieu. Yeah, that's the guy that basically replaced Cole in the rotation and has done almost exactly what Cole did through 9 starts last year. So the numbers, Heel through this 9 starts is 2.39 ERA, 62 strikeouts, and 3 homers allowed in 49 innings pitched. Cole last year through 9 starts, a 2.22 ERA, 62 strikeouts, 4 homers allowed in 56 2/3 innings pitched. Pretty good. So what stands out to me the most about the key to his success is what I'm calling making each bat uncomfortable for the batter. And the good news is that we can now sort of quantify this statement with the new StatCast metrics. So yeah, it includes strikeouts, and the strikeout rate is among leaders, but it's more than just that. So first of all, it's about ability to get weak contact. His expected batting average allowed, which is based on exit velocity and launch angle, is the 3rd lowest among all pitchers with at least 100 batted balls allowed this season, and his expected slugging percentage is the 2nd lowest. And he's allowed a hard hit ball, which is 95+ miles per hour, on just 8.8 of batter swings, which is tied for Chris Sale for the lowest rate among that group. And now it's not just about generating weak contact, it's also the ability to generate bad swings. So StatCast has this new metric called squared up rate, which tells us how much exit velocity you get as a share of how much exit velocity was possible based on your swing speed and the speed of the pitch. And any swing that gets at least 80% of that is considered squared up. So Heel's squared up rate as a percentage of batter swings is the 6th lowest rate among all pitchers with at least 200 swings against him. So he's up there with the top pitchers in the league. Another new metric that StatCast has is swords, which is inspired by the Pitching Ninjas gifts. So basically it's when a pitcher makes a batter look awful. And StatCast defines it as a swinging strike where the swing is incomplete and the bat speed is in the lowest 10th percentile. So Heel has 10 swords this season, which entering Monday, only Corbin Burns with 11 had more. So Heel has definitely been, I think, to me, the biggest surprise of this rotation and probably the best, maybe the best pitcher in the rotation so far this season. Like to see him continue whatever he can do for the rest of the year. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you very much to the Queen of Stats, Katie Sharp. LeMahieu, Jake, he's been good. What stands out to you?
Well, I liked that Katie Sharp broke down the swords to,
Yeah.
What'd she say, make you look bad? Awful?
Yeah.
Awful.
I think because of bat speed now, they have the,
Right.
terrible bat
Basically
speed.
those bad
They can tell
check
that a swing
swings
didn't
that's
get
like-
finished and that it was slow.
And I like that she opened up all the LeMahieu stats with the strikeouts, yeah. So we're going deeper than that. So those are the two things I liked having Katie Sharp back with. And then I did laugh when the comparison in hard hit rate was Chris Sale, which
He's been awesome.
it's one of my beautiful things with baseball that I probably do a rant twice a year. Like Chris Sale is this slender man from North Florida that throws lefty and basically from first base, and now Luis Hill, the young kid with the neck tattoo from the Dominican, they're getting compared for how gross they're being. So that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. I'm interested in how things move forward for Hill. It's been an awesome start. It's super encouraging, and it can continue. I don't think it's going to continue at this pace.
Right.
We'll see. Usually what I look for is facing a team twice. You know, they saw you. They have like a memory of your stuff. But when you look at Hill's game log, he faced a team twice. He faced Toronto twice, and the second time he faced Toronto was when he walked 7 guys. So it is the best a team has performed against him in terms of attack strategy.
Right.
Was the game Blue Jays saw him twice. I just went through the schedule, and if he stays on rotation, he doesn't face a team a second time until June 20th because the way the schedule goes, they're not playing a lot of teams twice. Right. And by that point, Cole might be back, might not, depends. So I'm interested when that happens, but then seemingly it looks like we could go like 5 more starts before that happens.
Yeah, I mean, Luis Hill has become such an exciting conversation point of this season and the upcoming seasons. And I guess I'll be interested to see, if the performance keeps up. I mean, how could you possibly take a guy out of the rotation, which that could lead to some interesting talking Yanks. Or then secondly, like, Luis Hill has now become one of the most valuable chips of the franchise.
Oh, I did not think of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if Luis Hill keeps up this pace, you're talking about someone with a starting pitcher who has very limited service time, who's coming off TJ. And, you know, you've talked about this with extending Soto. Like, if we do that, you know, you're going to need cheaper players. That Luis Hill becomes...
Trade call.
Luis Hill goes from, like, prospect that they were unsure about to, like, key cog in the rotation.
Someone go find the episode when the Yankees traded Jake Cave for Luis Hill and tell us what we said. We were probably saying Hill.
Louis Gill.
Gill.
I like how he looks.
What a trade. Jake
Cave
I
always say.
For Luis Hill. We probably talked about it at some point during the show. I pulled up some crazy splits.
Okay.
Luis Hill. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 splits that are kind of like, we should come up with a term like Major League Euchre level splits, you know, on Wednesdays when it's raining.
Okay.
But they're not like crazy. But
yeah, I think the internet has, ESPN won that ESPN had a period where they were digging up those that.
These are somewhat more valuable than those.
Okay.
But 5 things that he leads all starting pitchers in. So I'm gonna tell them to you, and you're gonna tell me which one you like the most.
Ooh, blind ranking.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna.
We're hip.
Hello, welcome. We're gonna blind. Jake, you're gonna blind rank these 5 splits that Luis Hill leads all major league starting pitchers in. 1, Luis Hill has recorded 20 of his 23 strikeouts versus left-handed batters with his fastball.
Ooh, I like that a lot. I'll go 2.
Number 2, okay. Luis Hill has a strikeout rate of 36% when going through the lineup the second time.
I'm going to go 3. I think sometimes pitchers overvalue like not showing stuff the first time through a little too much. That I like that, but I don't want you to give up an early run because you're saving something for later.
You could also spin it that it allows him to get settled in.
A little
which
comfortable.
we've seen.
When a lot of pitchers have that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, where'd you rank that one?
3.
Okay, next. Opponents are hitting just 0.90 against Luis Hill when ahead in the count.
1.
That's
I like
really
that
awesome.
A lot.
So when the hitters are ahead, a 2-0, a 3-0, a 3-1, usually when pitchers have terrible batting averages against, he has the best.
They're just taking and praying for a walk.
In Major League Baseball. Okay, and this one, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Opponents are hitting just 132 against Luis Hill at home.
I'm going to go 5.
Yeah, all the
know
Yankee starters are great at home so
Yeah.
far.
It's the crowd. It's the Bronx.
And so this one locks in at your number 4. Opponents have a hard hit rate of just 16% against Luis Heel on changeups.
I nailed it.
Yeah, I think you did a really good job. I like the second time through. I do like that.
I mean, it ain't bad.
Yeah. I love how Carlos Rodon's pitching, though, where he's like
Lefty.
getting
Oh.
early on without runners on.
Yeah.
The velos tick down. He's trying to induce swings and get outs quicker. And then when runners get on, he's just firing it up. That's very cool ability, in my opinion.
Yes, I'm interested to see. It's like he has an actual gas tank. I'm interested to see because there was one start this year that he burnt a lot of his fuel early, and then I think he had a tough start. So I'm interested to see if that comes up again, how that works.
Yeah, I am too. I would like to do like I don't want to have Rodon on the show for like a whole segment. But what if we ask Zillow? Yeah, I guess I could, but you might not. But I would say, hey, can we just ask one question? That's what I would ask him.
One question.
How do you control your turbo meter? How'd you learn to do that?
He'd like it if we called it that.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a name for it.
He's a media guy. We kind of let him do his thing last year. We should have Matt Blake on the show and just do a checklist of you or Cole. Yeah.
Heels changeup. Ah, shit. That's Cole. Yeah. That's actually Cole, guys.
Heels neck tattoo. Matt Blake.
I'll take that one.
That one was me.
That one was me. Yeah. All right. That's the show. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you. Go Yanks. Enjoy yourselves. Leave a review. Just out loud. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.